Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
This is Dee.
My beautiful bride. This is Dee. And hopefully y'all are having a great day, wherever you may be. If you're in the East, like we are, East Coast, we got snow. But we want to say Happy New Year, wherever you may be. 2025. It's time to thrive in 2025. And we want to say hello to everybody. I'm Dr. Willie Jolley, and we are the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, and Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. We've been married going on 40 years in June. 40 years. Haven't had an argument in 38 years. And I still got the hots for her. I do. You know that. She's cute. Turns me on. After 40 years. And she's always got, if y'all are constantly watching, you'll see every show is different glasses. She has a potpourri, a menagerie of glasses.
You're making up words.
So anyway, we want to say Happy New Year. Hope you had a great New Year. We had a wonderful holiday season. Great New Year. We had a great holiday because our family was here. We had all the kids and grandkids from all over the country. We got grown grandkids, and they flew in. One flew in, and one came across town, who had lived in North Carolina, now living here. And we got a new one, a little baby grandchild, and he's here too. So we had and my daughter, my son, just had a great time, and great New Year's celebration where we did what we do every year. We go to church. We start our year in church, and we give God glory, and we're grateful. And we are members of the First Baptist Church of Glenarden under the pastorship of Pastor John Jenkins. We had a tremendous New Year's service this year, as always.
Bright and early.
We were there at the 7 o'clock service because we babysat at where we would usually go to the 10 and bring in the New Year at church. We didn't. Terrence is here. Where has he been? There once were jolly so bright. Their smiles lit up the day and night. With laughter and cheer, they banished all fear and spread joy wherever they take flight. Thank you, Terrence. We have missed you, and we're glad.
He's a wordsmith.
We're glad you're here. Hope you're well. Hope
How's
your
your
family.
mom?
Hope you have your mom. Hope she's doing well. We got folks who are part of our community who we're grateful who check in. Okay, let's see. Greg and Linda are
they snowed in
at our Florida office in Orlando. Wow, they're in Orlando.
they had to say at their Florida office.
They're not. They're with family, and but it's warm there. No snow. So God bless you. And
can't shovel sunshine.
Cannot shovel sunshine. There you go. For a friend of mine, Terry Brock, called me just a little while ago and said they were at the chilly temperature of 75 degrees today in Orlando. Well, Tanya Hood, thank you for being with us. We got folks joining in on all of our platforms.
So Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Mother is better. Good. Amen. So we want to bring in the new year by talking about somewhat what we talk about in our New Year's programs. By the way, just let me give you an announcement. Some of you listen to me Get Up Morning every day on Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell at 8:20 every day. The Praise Network syndicated across America with my Wake Up and Win with Dr. Willie Jolley message. This morning, I made an announcement that I'm going to do a special leadership masterclass this Saturday, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, free. So every year at my church, First Baptist Church of Glenarden, the second week of the month of January, they have a revival. And for at least 20 years, they've had Bishop T.D. Jakes to be the Friday night speaker or revivalist. And then Saturday mornings, Bishop Jakes would do a special leadership training session. Well, as you many know, he's had some health challenges, so he's not going to be speaking this year. And therefore, they're not doing the Saturday morning leadership program. So I decided, I prayed about it and talked to my pastor, as well as I got some encouragement from some others to do one that's separate and apart that we will do, and then make it open to any and everybody who wants to come. So if you're interested in this free masterclass leadership on how to thrive in 2025, send us an email and just say, I want to attend. And we'll send you the information.
Send you the link.
The link. Well, we'll send you the link and how to sign up, okay, and how to get the link. So you just send the email to info@williejolley.com. info@WILLIEJOLLEY.com. And we just want to be a blessing. And then I told the people on Erica Campbell Show, I want to thank all the listeners who have encouraged me, who have sent me notes, who say how my daily messages has blessed them. And some have said it changed their lives. So we figure we will do something just to be a blessing to kick off this new year. So info@williejolley.com if you want to attend Saturday morning, a special leadership masterclass, how to thrive in 2025. Okay, tonight we're going to do a first of the year, opening year session on securing love and finances, and a number of other things which will help you get a New Year's checklist for couples. I like to call it a relationship maybe reset, but a checklist. And my wife, her brilliant wife, has a checklist of things you must do or you should do for this year to be a really great year for your couples. Boom. Did I set it up correctly?
You set your character. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
How do we prepare as a couple to make 2025 thrive? What do we do to make it better in 2025 than it was in 2024? That's what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so I came up with 8 what I thought must do as couples.
Okay.
And some of it is review.
Mm.
And in terms of how we need to look at our relationships, okay?
Yes.
So number 1, what's the number 1 thing?
Go ahead.
You,
I'm talking to Terrence. Terrence said, did you hear the 5 love languages, now 7 languages? And when his money, when his money is gone or something. I know it's some joke, Terrence, but go ahead.
He's a character.
All right, he's a character.
So one common one, sex, money, communication. The common thread of what is communication?
Is communication, right.
So for 2025, how do we thrive as a couple in 2025? We have to learn to communicate more effectively. Then the question becomes, well, how do you go about doing that? How do you go about, we always talk about communication, and sometimes I get tired of talking about it, but it seems to be an ongoing problem. It is.
It's a big problem.
So why is that such an ongoing problem, this whole communication thing? Isn't it talking? No, it is not. When we talk about how to communicate effectively, the first thing really is listening. 2 ears, 1 mouth. So we want to
2 ears, 1 mouth.
Yes.
Double what you should be doing with the mouth is listening. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So when we talk about how to communicate, think about this. We've got thoughts. Sometimes we don't know where the thoughts come from.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Terrence said it really is 7 love languages, and money's part of it. It's a finance book. He said you can Google it.
Oh, okay. And it's called 7 Love.
No, we'll look it up. We'll look it up.
Okay.
All right. Now.
All right. So think about this. How do we communicate effectively? How do we let somebody else understand what we're about, and how do we understand somebody else? Thoughts. Sometimes we don't know where those thoughts come from.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts become our words.
Mm-hmm.
Words become our actions.
Mm-hmm.
Actions become our habits. Our habits become our character, and our character becomes our destiny. So everything starts with thoughts. Our communication. Sometimes our thoughts, or oftentimes our thoughts, need not materialize and come out of our mouths.
Right. Some thoughts you need to keep to yourself.
Right. Or you need to say, where did that thought come from?
And some words you need to keep to yourself.
Yes.
In marriage and relationship, you don't need to say everything you're thinking. And that's a big one. Let me deal with that for a moment, because far too often people say, well, I got to be real. Let me tell you something.
It's because you want to be rude and hurt somebody.
Well, they think of being real is
No,
I gotta be transparent. Some stuff you don't need to say to have a happy relationship, to have a joyous relationship. Some stuff you need to keep to yourself. Keep your mouth shut. Both men and women. Sometimes you just need to zip it. Just shut up. Don't say it. Okay, go ahead, baby.
Okay. I was going to say, I think sometimes people say, I got to be real and say it because they know that what they're going to say is hurtful. And they really do want to be hurtful because in some way, their partner has hurt them. And this is a way of saying,
well, that's part of it. But then you got those who have retribution, in other words, what you're saying, but others who are not thoughtful. So they're not saying to do it to be hurtful. They're just not thoughtful. But remember, every action has a counteraction or a something that comes from it. And so you don't have to say everything you're thinking.
So perhaps if you delay the words coming out of your mouth and think, if I say this, will it make a positive difference?
There you go.
In our lives or in the lives of the person that I say that I love.
Or a unpredictable situation, you'll have I just thought of it, a unintended consequence. An unintended consequence from your words that often
you can take an action, but you don't know what the response is going to be.
Here's what I say in my books.
Okay.
You have complete control over the choice. You have no control over the consequence. You could say, okay, I'm gonna jump off a bridge. Now you might hit the ground and bounce on up. I doubt it, but it's possible. Or might go splat. You don't know what the consequence will be. All you've got the choice to do is to jump or not jump. So you have to make wise choices as to what you say, what you do, how you proceed. And in relationships, you need to understand there are consequences to your actions. And some of the words that you say will not be quickly or ever forgotten. Boom.
So in communication and relationships, we must be aware, grab hold of our thoughts and say, where did it come from? Is this something that I should let out of my mouth?
Right. That's
the
right.
Thoughts become actions. Actions become our words. Words become our habits. Our habits become our character. And our character becomes our destiny. Boom, there we are.
There we are.
Okay.
All right.
Also in communication.
As David Kimbrough says, first the inner, then the outer. First the thought, then the thing.
So we want to practice, some say active listening. I say, let's try compassionate listening. So we want to listen to our mates and to the people that we love because we really want to understand what they're trying to communicate.
Right.
And when we teach the communication courses, we talk about LQC, listen, question, clarify. That's still so valid. So you want to lean in with an open mind because you're inquisitive and working at understanding what your partner is trying to communicate.
Correct.
And I think that's compassionate listening. And then we're listening careful about our thoughts. We want to have compassionate listening. And then we want to then express how we feel in response to what's going on.
Right.
So all that really happens like in a split second. So what does that mean that we can do in 2025 to thrive? It means that we need to be intentional about finding time to actually have intimate conversations.
I think it's very important to have
that we don't do that. To find the time to have intimate, honest conversations. One of the conversations.
Oh, you saying we don't do that?
No.
You mean we in the generic? People.
We at large.
Okay. Because you and I have intimate conversations
Yes.
often.
I was going to say, for example, I was in a conversation with several ladies at church while you were in and doing altar counseling.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
all right.
Several days ago, we were talking about getting stuck with not understanding our financial situations of our mates.
Ooh, that's right. There you go. Go. You want to go. You want to deal with it.
And we were talking. And one of the ladies who was in the conversation, husband had died 2 years ago.
Wow.
And she talked about that her husband was 22 years older than she. They had been married for 40 years. He died, and still there was this open wound, because we were talking about that there is a widow's, what's the right
widowers ministry now.
Ministry at church.
Right.
And she said she wished she had known about that. I don't think that was around 2 years ago, because there's so much left not said in terms of, because the husband handled this piece of finances, she handled the other, and neither the twain shall meet.
Wow. And when she tried to go get some,
I told you about that, right?
Tried to get a cell phone,
something that was
bill changed her name.
There was a problem with the Comcast. She had gotten a bill change in her name. There was some other kind of problem with when there was an outage, and the customer service person asked her what was the PIN and what was just, I don't know what this is. And she said it just brought back all of the painful memories of the passing of her mate. And that she felt just so frustrated and just upset, because now she felt like at a loss. They were asking for information.
So what's the lesson here? What's the lesson that I want to communicate? Talk to, some people.
Uncomfortable.
There you go.
Some call it uncomfortable conversations. Some call it crucial conversations. I don't want to talk about that right now. When is it ever the right time to talk about something as simply as, what are the passwords?
Well, many people think that if I talk about it, I won't die. Let me tell you something, everybody. Nobody get out of life alive. Nobody. And so you've got to realize that life is temporary. This life on earth is temporary. We want to make it, as long as we can, but you're talking about it don't make you go quicker. And so what we want you to do is we want you to be mindful that you got to tell your spouse where the money is, where the passwords are. Y'all got to take the position of one of us is going to leave here one day, maybe one before the other. There's a chance that you might hit at the same time. I don't know. But everybody going to leave here. That's for sure. And so be wise by saying, I'm going to tell you. Now, I always tell people, my plan is to die young at an old age. Come on, somebody. Do y'all know what that means? That means I'm planning to keep riding my bicycle. I'm planning to dance. I'm planning to make love to my wife up until I'm hundreds, okay? In my hundreds. And so I'm saying I'm planning to die young at an old age. I'm not going to get old. And that's one thing. And the other thing I tell people to do is this, to keep in mind that you have a choice. How are you going to live? I'm living all out. I'm giving it all out.
Let's get back on track.
So, okay. All right. So
we want to thrive in 2025 as a couple. You've got to talk about just not about the emotional feelings, but what are concerns that we each might have about our financial and emotional safety? And for some, emotional safety says, well, how do I feel whole? If something happens to you now, where is everything?
Right.
That's something just that simple. So use I statements. And we talked about that. Use I statements to express how you're feeling and how do
What does that mean? I statement to tell how I'm feeling. What does that mean? Give me an example.
I feel scared that if something happened to you, if you drop dead, I don't know where the mortgage information is, or I don't know where the life insurance is, or like the lady I was talking to, she said, well, He said that all the information is in the envelope in the drawer. That's not a descriptive way of saying, here is where my information is. Go to the drawer.
Let me show you where it is. Here, let me give you a tutorial of how to access it. Let me tell you, here's where it is. Right. Here's what it means. Right. Here are the passwords.
Because
here are the pins.
Your loved one passes away. You're emotionally upset. You're not helping it by having them rummage through the drawer and say, well, he said that, or she said that it was in the drawer. The passwords, the accounts, all of that needs to be well organized. Well organized
and transparent. Okay, open for everybody to see it. And say, hey, baby, here's, not everybody, but everybody in the family. Our children know where our wills are. Our children know how we want to be funeralized.
They might not agree, though.
They don't agree, but they know where the paper is, or we agreed, and we wrote it down, and this is our request.
Here we're having that conversation because one says, well, they're going to be upset if you want to be cremated. So, just anyway. All right. So we want to use our statements to say, this is how I feel. Here are my concerns. Let's talk about these things. How do we fix it? Right.
Okay, yeah.
Give your, how to communicate also. Give your undivided attention and don't interrupt when the other person is talking.
Now that one is hard for us because I'm constantly interrupting you or you interrupting me.
No, I don't interrupt you.
Oh, yes, you do. You know what? When we were on TV one day, they said what they liked about us most was how we interrupt each other without the other getting upset. Now that's the difference. You will touch me.
You're the one that's
you'll touch
all
me,
the time.
But sometimes I'll just interrupt you. I don't have to, but she touches me and says, I'm about to interrupt you. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
That the word is show respect for the other. Now we're very respectful. If she cuts me off, okay. If I cut her off, okay, we respect the other. We got maybe something to interject. But we're not. We went to lunch with a couple one time. They hadn't gotten married at that point. I don't think.
Yeah, they had.
Had they gotten married?
They were having they were having some intense fellowship.
And at the end of the conversation, they wanted some counsel. We don't really do marriage counsel, but we gave them some mentorship. And they said at the end, what astounded us most was how y'all cut each other off and no one got offended. She said, if he had cut me off during my conversation, we'd have a big argument. And he said the same. And because they were disrespectful in the cutting off, that's what it was. It was a sign of disrespect that they never fixed that. We gave them tools. They ended up getting a divorce.
I think there's one thing to give information. There's another thing to apply the information.
We didn't have the book then. We should have had the book then.
But I'm not sure.
Let me finish this. If we'd had the book then and told them both, do what we tell them to do, get 2 copies of the book, read it together, go through the points, they'd be married still. Because we've had so many people who were on their way to divorce who've done what we told them, get 2 copies of the book, read it together, and talk about it at the end of each chapter, who have turned it around, got happy marriages. We didn't have the book then. I wish we'd had the book.
Okay, I don't know.
We didn't have the book.
They didn't apply. Here's the thing.
We did not have the book because they got big children now. Or 2, well, between the 2 of them.
The point I want to make is that you must get in the books, reading it. None of that matters if you're not going to practice, if you're not going to apply.
Well, sometimes they don't know to apply. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's why we need to push them to get the book. Because they don't, we want you to use what we say, but you got to read it first. He who knows not that he knows not, but thinks he knows is a fool. So we want them to know, and we want to lift the veil of ignorance. I like that.
Oh, that's a great visual.
You like that?
Yes,
lift the veil of ignorance. I'm putting that in my new book.
Oh, okay.
My new book. I closed the book with, in this book, I have done one thing: lift the veil of ignorance about wealth. By the way, so y'all will know, the new book is taking pre-orders. It's called Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. You can go to richisgoodwealthyisbetter.com to pre-order.
Okay, I'm still on communication.
Okay.
Learn the visual cues so that your spouse, your partner knows that you're engaged, that you're focused on them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing that now. The eye contact, the nodding.
And you say it often, study your mate. So you know when she knows when my nostrils flare.
Like, why is he acting crazy?
Yeah, I'm upset about something. Yeah, I'm upset about something. My nostril, somebody done said something. I never flared her. Somebody else has said something.
But sometimes I need to back off, give him space because I know he's upset about something. So I want to give him.
It's not often, but she knows.
Yes.
It's not often. I really, maybe once a year, twice a year. Maybe.
Okay, practice being clear and concise with your words. We have a tendency, and when I say we in general, jargon drives me crazy. Jargon. Sometimes people talk and they use phrases or
they use
what are you talking about?
They use
acronyms
that only they know, or is a inside kind of conversation.
And sometimes I think, are you trying to make me feel like I'm stupid? I mean, it doesn't happen between us, but as people communicate or attempt to communicate, sometimes they're doing it, and I think perhaps they're doing it to be erudite, to appear erudite and scholarly, but it doesn't work.
No,
it doesn't help you draw the person in and get commitment because they don't really understand what you're talking about.
Right.
So you need to organize your thoughts. Open a body and a close. And we say that because we're in the communication field. You have to think, what does that mean? Think about what you're going to say. Because there's always a split second. You're thinking something before you say it. And I have always said this about you. You think and speak at the same time. I can't do that. There's always a delay. So you've got to know yourself.
Well, I actually hear the stuff in my head before I say it. I hear the words in my head before I say them. I know what I'm going to say because of what my brain is telling me.
You hear the words?
Yeah, I hear the words.
I don't hear the words in my head.
I guess I have trained myself. Part of that was from reading.
But that's because you speak for a living,
right?
And then you have to adjust. Sometimes it's like I've watched you enough over the years when you have to adjust what you're saying as you're coming to the stage to work.
I love what Tanya Hood says. My grandmother often said, thoughts become things. So be careful what you put in it because it often comes out. You're right. And yes, Terrence, the book is about getting rich. I did say the word rich. Rich is good. Wealthy is better. You can see it at the website, richisgoodwealthyisbetter.com.
Thoughts become the things that you end up saying.
Yeah, that's right.
Developing. Right. So we want to use positive language wherever possible because people are turned off by negativity.
Yeah.
And we can get in the habit of it and we don't really realize that's what we're doing. Also, open body language. So when you're together and you don't want to have your arms folded.
Like I just had my arm folded. But I'm here because I'm trying to give you space because you're in charge tonight.
No, I'm not in charge. I always say that. You can always tell who's in control when he's so gracious,
effusive and gracious.
So Dee handles everything. Then you know that's not so. That's not so.
Yeah, it is.
So you're going to use positive gestures. All these are a forward lean to lean into, to make the eye contact, to use the gestures, even touch, to be familiar. All of that helps to develop positive communication.
Okay, you went somewhere. Well, our time is up anyway, Dee.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so how else do you develop positive communication? You say, you know what? I really don't have any positive words to use. I didn't grow up that way. I get annoyed. I don't know how to control. You know what? The first thing you can do is read.
Amen. Now, what you gonna read? You gotta read some good stuff. Look, you got here, attend workshops, good seminars, and so we're gonna go out.
The easiest thing you can do is to read on your own, books on your phone.
Okay, we gotta go.
Positive, uplifting.
Our time is up. Okay.
I'm upset.
I know you got 20 more things, but we just don't have time to do. So
we need a part 2 Because the next thing that I was going to get to, we have 8 things, right?
Wow. Okay. Wow. Look, we haven't even got
Thrive in 2025.
That was just a setup. Lord have mercy.
The first thing that we got to communicate effectively with each other.
Lord.
The second thing is that we have to set our goals together.
All right, we're going to do that next week. We'll do part 2 because she took all of this time to set up.
We're also going to have guests. I don't know.
Not next week. We won't if you got all of this stuff. I mean, you want to throw it all? We got 30 minutes. You want to throw everything in the kitchen sink in there.
You know what I think?
What?
I think because you interjected so much stuff.
Oh. She got all of this stuff. She got 20 pages worth of stuff.
We're going to prepare to thrive.
In 2025.
So the setup is very important.
All right. So look, attend seminars and workshops. Remember what I said earlier. 1 is that you should get the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. Our friend Terrence says everybody needs this book. If you don't have a copy, you need to go to jollymarriage.com. You need to watch the TED Talk, the free TED Talk. Send everybody who's married to jollymarriage.com to watch TED Talk, how to never, ever argue again in marriage. And then after you watch the TED Talk, get 2 copies of the book, 1 for each of you, 1 for you and 1 for your significant other. Read it together. At the end of each chapter, discuss the learning points we put in there for you to discuss. And then after you finish the 2 books, then you give 1 book away, keep 1 book on your shelf, give 1 to somebody who needs it, who's a couple.
And then become a mentor to somebody else.
That's right. Bless somebody
with your positive behavior.
So that's first. Second is this Saturday, I'm doing a special masterclass, absolutely free, as a way to just give back to the community, to the world, who have been so good to us. So it will be Saturday at 10 a.m. if you're interested. And
10 a.m. Eastern.
Eastern, thank you. Mm-hmm. Eastern. If you're interested, then just send us an email at info@williejolly.com, info@williejolly.com. Just say, I want to attend. It's free. Number 3, for those who have asked, we're still considering doing a special event on the day after Valentine's Day for couples. And we need you to send an email, say, I want to attend that. Now, that's going to have a charge to it. But we want couples to have a seminar for us to have online. It's going to be online. So people from all over the world can attend. If you're interested, info@williejolly.com. Let's see. We got a lot of folks who, let's see. Trinita Lattimore, my friend. This Desiree Matthews. Thank you. She said, great show. Love you both. They love you too. And thank you, everybody. Terrence, glad you're here. And give your mother my best. The Kazaras. And we know Gladys Pemberton is somewhere. We'll tell her and her husband, Ron, who are listed in the book, about going from a me mindset to a we mindset is powerful. Read the book. You'll see their story. Our time is up. I want to thank you for yours. And it's time to go. And it's time to grow.
We'll have part 2 next week.
Have part 2 next week. You think you can get through it?
Well, if you don't say too much.
Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all next week. See y'all next week. Have a great week. Happy New Year.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.